All right, from the studios in Fairfax City, we are very grateful that Eiríkur Hauksson accepted the invitation to our show. Eiríkur, welcome to my humble podcast.
Thank you very much, Claudio. Thank you.
No problem. Let's go back to the beginning of your life. Were you born like in a musical family? I mean, how old were you when you began taking guitar lesson, piano lesson, that sort of thing?
Yeah, I mean, my mother told me that at the age of 3, I used to sing for her afternoon guests, and if it didn't fit perfectly, then I just started to cry until I got to sing my song. Always the same song, an Icelandic folklore.
Yeah.
And there was music in my family. My mother played piano and organ, and my father, he was studying violin sometimes when I was a little kid, and but unfortunately my father died when I was only 4 years old, so I inherited his old violin, and I studied violin from the age of 7 till 12. So that's how it all started. But at the age of 10 or 11, I started listening to, yeah, like Zeppelin and Purple and all that stuff. And so that's how the violin just disappeared. And
Sure.
I started singing.
Gotcha. Was for you. Were you in any bands in high school?
We started, some friends, we started at the age of 15, and it was very primitive. But my first performance officially was at 16, I think. It was at a club. We were supposed to be at least 18 to be allowed to play, but we managed to convince the owners that we were 18. But that was a white lie.
No, I understand. You have so many people have done the same thing. Not just playing, but entering a club, when you are, and before you are 18 or something.
Yeah.
And so eventually you finish high school, right? And then any pressure from your family, your mom to go to college, go to university, get a real job instead of,
Well,
if you become a musician, it's a crazy lifestyle, you will not make any money, and so forth.
Well, I had some pressure from my mom because since my father died, she was raising 5 kids alone, and the issue of have to get education to earn some money and all that stuff. I was raised up with that, and when I was done with high school, I looked at some options, and my mom was a teacher. Her mother and her dad were teachers, and my dad's father, he was a teacher as well. So I guess that was my destiny. So I started to be a teacher, and I've never regretted that. It helped me when I moved to Norway in 1988. I had 2 young girls, my daughters, and I went to their school with them and helped them to get to learn Norwegian. And you know what? It took them about 3 weeks, and then they talked the language better than I did. But I was asked to come and help out in the school. So that was how I made my money the first couple of years, I think.
Good for you. How the band come out with the name? What does it mean to you?
Magic Pie.
Yeah.
That was before I joined in. I think they got it from a song by Oasis.
Oh wow.
There's a song there called Magic Pie, and I think maybe the title of the song isn't Magic Pie, but that combination, Magic Pie, appears in a song by Oasis. I think that's the reason. Yeah.
I got you. So the band was established in Norway in late November 2001 with guitarist Kim Stenberg invited many people of you, and then almost 20 years later, the band's still alive and kicking, and still, of course, Kim is still in charge there, and good for you, man. Absolutely. So many bands come and go, but you guys were persistent, and the founder was persistent, and now 25 years later, still touring, still playing great music. Good for you guys, man. It's
very nice. And Kim is I wasn't on the first two albums, and there have been some changes, not too much. We had the same drummer until this album. We have a new drummer now. He wanted to do something else, our old drummer, and from King for a Day we changed keyboard player, but the bass player has been from the start, along with Kim.
Gotcha. Your music is very complex.
It is.
With many time signatures. So when you hire, let's say, a new drummer, right, or a new bass player, how difficult is for the person, he or she, learn the music and put it together, because with complex time signature and your more symphonic rock, it's not that easy, so
it's not easy, and our last change was our new drummer Martin Utby. He's a young kid compared to us, and to play in Magic Pie, you have to be skilled. You have to have all sorts of techniques, and after we've found that out, then we have to figure out if the person matches in to the group. And Martin has melted in easily, and he's very keen. He's a young mind, young brain, and he's a fast learner. And we actually, when we went to a studio in Oslo, in Norway, to record what I later called Maestro, he did drums for the next two albums as well. Because the thing is, when COVID came, and our band, like many other bands, we sort of stopped. We never gave up, but we were on a pause, and Kim used that period remarkably well, and he had loads of songs that he and we later sorted out songs. Okay, these songs should be on the first album, and then we have the second, and the third one is probably going to be a theme album, we think. And there are some musical changes. Many people that I've spoken with, and they have said that this is probably the most hard rockish release we've ever had, and I suppose that's right. And the next album, which we at the moment just call Short Stories, is going to be in similar direction. Everybody will recognize Magic Pie, the sound and the style and all that, but there will be some new moments on the next album.
I got you. How difficult in general is to make a living as a musician? Because fewer people are buying records, CDs, vinyl. You make money when you tour, but some bands don't tour that much. All of you still have a day job, and then you take time off. You do a week touring, then you come back to your job and that sort of things.
Yeah, that's you nailed it. That's the problem. You being a Norwegian prog-rock band, it's as it stands now, it's impossible to make a living out of it. But we're doing the best we can, and it's actually only 7-8 years since I took on a steady job. I've been living as a singer all my grown life, and and I still do that. I have a full job as a teacher as it is, and as an example, last week I was done with the job on Friday, straight into a bus to play Friday, Saturday, and home by midnight Sunday, and off to work again. So it gets tough at times. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's something that you love, and that's your life, So
Music is my life.
Yeah.
As I put it in the words of Maestro in the opus. So it's that's my destiny. I was born to stand on a stage.
Good for you. Good for you. Magic Pie music draws inspiration from bands like Dream Theater, Genesis, Pink Floyd, Kansas, Deep Purple, Yes, and many, many more. Yeah, when I was preparing question for the interview, I listened to your whole catalog, and then I could, because I love all the bands that I just mentioned, the Deep Purple, the Genesis, the Pink Floyd, Led Zeppelin. I can see element there, so it's good for you guys, man. Of course, you wanna draw inspiration, but then at the end of the day, you need to do your own thing, right? Magic Pie is Magic Pie. It's not a cover back of Genesis or Deep Purple or whatever.
Yeah. What I think is special for us. I know it's special for us, and perhaps the listeners can hear something. I hope they hear something new on our music. I mean, Kim is very deep into all these prog bands, that are playing now and have been playing for the last 2 decades or something. But I come from a metal environment, so I'm raised with hard rock, heavy metal. So I think that's a good click for the band. So when he does all the instrumental parts and he sends it to me, and I do most of the melodies and all the lyrics. And I think this combination of a prog rock composer and a lyricist and vocalist who's more like Judas Priest and Iron Maiden, I think that's a good combination.
Great. And of course, you want to write their own music, but in Norway, there are so many great bands. I have interviewed a lot of people from your country and it's very difficult to make a name for yourself. I mean, out of Norway, the first band I knew was High as a Kite. They're very famous, but there are many great bands out there that they are more known outside Norway than in Norway, which is very strange, And
Magic Pie is a bigger name, universal than it is in Norway. That's the way it is.
Yeah, but why do you think it's the case? It's hard for you to make a name because the radios used to be the DJ wouldn't play your music, or
the radio station.
There are so many bands.
There is no radio station that specifies on prog, and most of our songs are more than 3 minutes, if not all. And so we're not a radio band in Norway. In no way. We get our music through like guys like you, Claudio, who really digs into this prog rock thing, and but I feel we are slowly but surely building up a reputation and following. I think Maestro has been a great step forward for us, and has lifted us up. And in fact, last week we were number 8 on the best-selling releases in Norway. That is physically buyers that buy CDs and long play vinyls. So that's first time ever for us. So who knows? Maybe we stay on the top 10 for the next week as well.
That would be great, man, because the music is great. Fortunately, fewer and fewer people. I don't know if it's in the world, but are buying CDs, vinyl, and a lot of people, especially the young generation, consume music via Bandcamp or Spotify. They don't want to pay for the music. A lot of people out there think the music should be free. I have no idea what people think that way.
Yeah. Well, you can say what you will about Spotify and things like that, but that's the evolution, and you can't really stop it. So you just have to live with it. What is a bit positive about it is that nowadays you have to go out and play live.
That's right. Yeah.
You're not selling as many albums as you did CDs or long play, but you play and you sell both CDs, vinyls, and T-shirts. Also,
T-shirts,
yeah. So that's a big part of the musicians' economy.
Yeah, today. selling merchandise and selling stuff. And I noticed that you came back from Spain recently. How was the gig there? That was great.
Yeah, it was very, very, very good. It was a small town venue that took it was something 400 or 500, and it was packed. Everything was professional, and well, the world has become small. We took a late afternoon flight on Friday, got to bed at 1:30 a.m. Had a good lunch the day after, and the usual sound check, blah 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 blah, and a great gig, and flew back to Norway in the afternoon on Sunday. So it was a short trip, but well worth it. Well worth it.
Good for you guys. What memory? I know you were not early in the band, but what memory you guys have played for the Motion of Desire or Circus of Life 2005 and 2007? Were you in the band at the time? No, were you not?
No, I joined the band on Suffering Joy, which is the third release.
The third, yeah. What memory do you have for that?
Well, it was strange because Alan Olsen, who was one of 3 lead singers on the first 2 albums, him and I, we were friends living in the same city, and he came to me and he said, I'm quitting in a band, very good band called Magic Pie. And I said to the guys, they have to get Eiríkur Hauksson to replace me. And here I am with the 2 CDs we have done. I want you to listen to them, and you can call the guys. And so I did, and we had a meeting, and I said to them, guys, I really like the 2 albums that Alan gave to me, but I really don't know that much about prog rock, so you'll have to excuse me if I'm a little slow in the beginning. And Jan, the drummer, said, "Oh, well, what were you listening to when you were in high school?" I said, "Well, one of my favorite band was Kansas." "Oh, that's prog." "What?" Jethro Tull. "That's prog." So I've been sort of raised with prog without knowing it was called prog, and maybe it wasn't. I think it wasn't called prog back then. That description, which is a shortcut of progressive rock, came as the years passed. Yeah.
So how long did it take for you to learn the music for the first 2 albums and then start working the third album when you joined?
Not a long time. I am fortunately I have this some call it photo memory. It's easy for me to learn the lyrics, and I'm a fast learner with melodies as well. So of course in the beginning I had to learn not all the songs on Motions of Desire and Circus of Life, but most of them I learned, and we played them a lot in the beginning. And actually now in our concert in Spain, we did Pointless Masquerade and What If both from Circus of Life.
I got you. And then now with 6 albums, of course, the band want to promote a new album, Maestro, that we'll talk a little bit about it. But how you put a set list together? Because you could be playing for 4 hours straight, in Prog-Rock, every track is not 3 minutes, maybe 5 minutes, and within an hour, and then talking to the audience, it's easy to play for for 3 hours, right?
It's always a bit of a struggle to get the set list, because the songs we call the epics, they are from 23 minutes long to 28 minutes long, and we feel okay, we can't have any more than one epic during a concert. So that's always a choice we have to make. Of course, now when Maestro is released, we're gonna do the long one, Opus Imperfectus. We couldn't find the time to rehearse it before Spain, but that's on our schedule now.
Yeah.
For next concert, whenever that will be.
Okay, and then you mentioned that you're working in another 2 albums, probably that.
Yeah.
Hopefully to be released at the end of this year, next year.
Next year, I think, because Maestro is released this year, and
right.
But Kim has done the basic guitar work on number 7, and the bass is almost done. So after the summer holidays, come August, I will start to probably. Well, I have written some lyrics and done some melody work, and I think I will be in the studio, say October, November, something like that.
To start working in the upcoming album. And I was listening to the last 3 albums last night, and Fragment of the Fifth Element as an album for 2019. It's a very good album, actually. So I really like the music, man. Like I told you before, I don't play any instrument. I don't know how to read music.
No.
But I've been around music all my life.
Yeah.
Buying a lot of records and then going to a lot of concerts. So music has been an important part of my life. I listen to music, I don't know, 2-3 hours a day or so in the background when I'm working. But that album is very, very good. I really like it. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
It's and recently, of course, you guys released another masterpiece called Maestro. That was released, May 16?
That's
10 days
right.
ago, right? Good for you, man. Good for you. How has the album been received all over the world? You mentioned that you're in the charts now in Norway.
Well, the critics have been extraordinary, almost overwhelming. I feel, but it's been quite unbelievable, because we've never had such good reviews ever on any of our albums. So we are optimistic, and well, the right thing for us would, of course, be now with the wind under our wings. We should go on a tour, but that's not real life for us. Martin, our new drummer, his wife is gonna give birth to their second child now in the middle of August, and that's the kind of a band we are. I mean, we don't. It's family first, and then musical success. Well, if it happens, it happens, and we feel we have success already. So
yeah.
So we're never in a rush, and there's no pressure on this time. Martin, he's gonna have a second kid, so we're gonna take it easy. Me and Kim are gonna work on the new music, and we'll come. But we are already planning next year, and I know by what's brewing as we speak, Claudio, I know we will be playing like a lot more in 26 than we have done any other year.
I got you. Any possibility of playing here in the United States, like in a festival? I think I'm aware that it's very expensive because you need to get visas to play here. So it's just arriving in the airport, you need, I don't know, $20,000 within the visas and equipment and everything. So it's hard to play here. Many bands would love to play
it is.
here, right?
But I mean, we would, if some promoter would get in contact, and we could like play, let's say 5 gigs in a week.
Yeah.
We would seriously consider it, even though maybe we don't return home with a lot of money in our pocket. At least we don't. We haven't lost money. That's how things are for us. We like to go break even, and of course want to earn some money, but that's not the way the industry is these days. So you have to settle for what
breaking even is good.
When you travel as far as to the US, absolutely, yeah.
And where do you learn to speak English? You speak very well.
Well, I think by singing. I mean,
really.
I'm raised and born in Iceland, and Iceland is an isolated island in the middle of the Atlantic, so nobody speaks our language. So we just have to
learn how to speak English.
Learn how to speak, English. And if you go to high school, I did language line in high school, and that included German, French, even Latin, opus imperfectus.
Wow.
So I've never had any problem with languages, and I guess I was always singing in English, and I'm from nature. I just don't want to babble around singing something. I have, even as a kid, as a 16-year-old, I had to understand the meaning of the lyrics. So that's where it comes from, I think.
Yeah, your country, Iceland, is beautiful. I've been there before. Okay. Iceland is another world. I mean, it's another galaxy. It's so different with all the volcanoes on the water and the waterfall, and it's very expensive because everybody needs to be brought to the island, of course, and but it's a beautiful place.
The world is a beautiful place. There are beautiful countries all over, and imagine, Claudio, if all the people in the world were musicians, there would be no war.
Well, I hope so, man. We live in crazy. We live in crazy time, man.
When you're in the music business, I mean, there is no racism, there is no cruelty, not that I know of. So music is a wonderful thing.
No, I completely agree with that. I hope we live in crazy time as a human society, and I hope that things could be better. And you mentioned, Maestro has climbed to number 8 in Norway, best-selling physical. That's very good, man. That's very good. I was looking at reviews, and Prog magazine give you a very good review, and your approach to classical symphony is impeccable. And of course, Magic Pack is not an exception. It's great of course, you want to play your music, you want to do what you like, but it's great that the Prog magazine, and now you're number 8 in the charts. They're saying, everybody was saying, man, this band is pretty good. They don't tour that much. They've been around for a while, but they're doing something good. You should feel great about it.
I do, Claudio. I'm very proud, very proud.
Right, and then when you come back to tour in 2026, you mentioned that hopefully coming to the United States, but you will do some gigs in Europe. Most of the time, you go to Norway, Denmark, Finland, the closest country next to you, and then
Scandinavia is close by.
In Germany, I think you guys are well known there. In Germany, and of course in England, there are so many progressive bands there.
We are planning a tour next year, starting drive through Sweden, and Denmark, and down to the Netherlands and Germany and stuff like that. So that is no longer a dream that won't come through. It's we have a possibility to do that, and I think we're going to do it.
Good for you. How easy or difficult is for you to write the lyrics? I mean, you guys go lyrics first and then music, or music and then lyrics?
Music comes first from Kim,
Music
and
first, yeah.
And then it happens sometimes, you know, and people that write music will understand what I'm talking about. Kim may have this song, and he may have a chorus line, and says, "Do whatever you want, Eric. Do whatever you want, but I need this line to be the first melody in the chorus."
Yeah.
And then he sings it on tape for me, and with some words that he has made up. And sometimes it's not that much to build on, but people that write music will know that the first thing that comes to your mind, lyric-wise, is always going to stick there. So it's very difficult for the composer to, if the line is something stupid like, "Oh, let me tell you how much I love you."
Yeah.
And if I come up with, "Can you tell me the way to Memphis?" Kim would say, "Can you please use the words that I have and build around it?" And then I do that. I'm a nice bloke, so I'll do that for him.
All right, that will be good. Feel free to mention where the listener and the viewer of this podcast can buy your music and help out. Feel free to mention your website and where people can buy the music and so forth.
All those things you mention is something that is, I can say it's really out of my reach. I'm in touch with you. I see you, and you see me. And that's all thanks to my wife. I know nothing about computers. I'm a total Neanderthaler, as I call it.
I will put the name of the website of the band where people can buy your music.
Please, I would appreciate that.
And then help people out. I will put a link to Bandcamp because your music is great. You know, some people cannot afford paying $30 for a vinyl, but they could pay $10 to download a digital copy and of Maestro, which is a great album, and good for you. I'm here to help out. Keep me posted of upcoming new gigs and a follow-up album, and we can always do a follow-up interview. Happy to help you guys and happy to help promote the music. You know, as I mentioned before, music has given me a lot of satisfaction. So it's nice to talk to musicians all over the world.
Claudio. Thank you very much for that.
No problem. Take it easy, man. Good luck to you, and have a good life, man. If I don't see you later.
Same to you and all the listeners. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Thank you.